let's begin in a comfortable seat. So we'll take the anchor, and the balance point is our sits bones. The anchor and balance point, those bones with the tailbone in between and sitting up on the edge of a blanket, rolled on your mat, feeling the pelvis spill forward like a bowl, not too far forward, just enough to allow the arch in the lower back, and you can rub the hands together, checking in on your lower back. Just place those warm hands on your lower back and notice the arch. Very graceful and natural. So let's make sure that stays there. And roll the hands to the thighs. Place the palms down for our grounding feeling. This is to bring us more in awareness of the ground below us, of our energy settling. At the same time, let's inhale and feel the spine lengthen through the crown of the head. Inhale, noticing the breath, and exhale. Feel free to close your eyes if you want to cut out the distractions around you. If you want to incorporate them, you can keep the eyes open. Because we're focusing on some balancing this week, let's also bring that awareness of the balance of the breath as well. So noticing through your practice, the pause between the inhale and the exhale. So when you inhale the new breath, really notice the crest of the breath and that pause after your inhale. And as you exhale and release, notice the pause at the end of the exhale. And give awareness to that rhythm today. Is this, how many beats does this happen for you in your breath, your personal rhythm? And is it fast? Is it slow? And which pause is longer than the other? A really cool exploration of the poise between our breaths. Let's take that lovely invitational breath into the belly, the ribs, the chest, the shoulders. Pause. Exhale it out. Belly, abdominals, chest. And then we'll transition, flutter the eyes open, and we're going to take a child's pose. So I'm going to give you an alternative. If you don't like that much flexion, you can take a rolled blanket behind your knees before you kneel down. So just place it behind your knees, and then you won't have to be in as deep of a flexion. If you don't like the flexion up at the hips as much, you can also take a rolled blanket in front of you just to keep that not as deep. It still will actually give you a nice therapeutic energy in the core if you keep that blanket under you. So feel free to do that if you want to not flex as much. And also cushion your knees if you'd like to. Come to the bottom of the mat, and you can widen your knees. Keep the big toes together. Inhale, lengthen the body before you flex forward, and reach the fingertips out in front of you, bringing your third eye, your still contemplation point, to the mat. And notice the crest and waves of the breath in this position. So the breath is coming in through the nostrils, and then you can feel that energy through the back of your body. So this is sort of our shadow side, just like that shadow side of the moon, inhaling. And as you exhale, feel that flow like water of the breath out of your mouth or your nostrils. And coming back to that awareness of the crest, just like noticing the crest of our ocean waves. Spend a few moments here paying attention to that rhythm, reaching the fingertips out long, lengthening the sides of your body. with our head down, feeling the contact with the earth of our shins, the arms, and our third eye and the forehead. You can take your head side to side ever so gently here towards your arms. Continuing peaceful breath. Just noticing as we change our movement through the practice, where are the stable points that are in contact with the earth? And where are the stable points in the body that keep us nice and aligned? So with those fingertips, awareness of your fingertips pressing into the mat, let's curl the tailbone towards the earth, and then we're going to come up into cat pose. So inhale, fill the back of your body, curl the tailbone up, and end up with hands below the shoulders, knees below the hips, and in our cat. Notice that arc of the spine. So our balance has changed now to the shins and the hands. Inhale into that back body, exhale. Let's take our cow pose, rising tailbone up towards the ceiling, then navel towards the mat, and then inhale, look up. Exhale, back into cat. And into cow again with that rhythm of the breath. When you're breathing, you can pause at the end and transition point of the poses, right? Between cat and cow. So you've got that physical transition along with your breath. Each time you arch in either direction, notice a different area of the spine. One more cat. Feel that navel pressing towards the spine, abdominals engage, and then come back to a neutral spine. So our crown of the head is reaching up towards the top of the mat. Look down towards your hands, press the fingertips into the mat, and notice that your armpits are gonna squeeze towards your ribs. So now our balance is so much more stable when we have bigger muscles involved. And then if you can bring awareness to your spine, imagine a channel of energy in front of the spine that brings you to the core of your torso that will keep you also very stable. And then the energy back in those shins, pressing those shins and the tops of your feet into the mat, that brings you another point of stability. So we're really set up to do our bird dog, which is reaching the right leg back straight, curling the toes under, rocking back and forth off your center to just get a nice stretch along that hamstring. And the heel will come back and forth. And then come back to your stable point, your neutral, stable spine. Inhale the right leg off the floor. And now we're balancing only on 3 legs here, so to speak. If we were our animals, we'd be on 3 legs. And make sure those hips are stable. And then we'll take the left hand up and reach the left arm next to the left ear. So now we're long, getting long, but we're also balancing on that right hand and the left shin. Inhale into the back body just so you can feel that support and floating energy above you. And then exhale the hand down and the knee down. Now shake out the wrist. If you're uncomfortable with the wrist like this, you can take it to fists. That will keep the wrist nice and straight. And then let's do it with the left leg. So curl the toes under and reach back, long leg, back and forth off center. And then inhale your left leg off the floor, nice and long. Keep the hips even and lift the right arm next to right ear. Reach long. Clear out energy in the spine, any static in the spine. Reach long, exhale, come back down. Now we're going to do this on the other side again, the right leg and left arm. We're going to throw ourselves off center a little bit. So look down at your hands, keep that spine long, and reach out your front hand as if you were trying to shake the hand of a favorite person. So just Try to shake that hand and you'll feel yourself off center. So now you can explore what it's like to be away from that neutral center, and then come back into the center and take your hand down. Exhale. Inhale, let's try the other side. So the left arm, right arm, left leg. So here we are in our stable. Reach out in front of you, see if you can find an imaginary hand, shake it, and then come back to center. Explore off center, see what that feels like. We're on the right shin and the left hand, pressing through that shoulder so we can engage the big muscles and come back to stability in that column in the middle, and then come back down and slide the hips back down briefly in child's pose, just to give your hands a break. We'll take the palms up towards the sky in that child's pose. So you're in a receiving energy. Imagine something amazing dropping into your hands. And then take the palms down again. And we'll inhale through cat towards a knee push-up, or just a knee plank. So come forward, bring your hands a couple of inches forward, bring the hips forward, and the crown of the head, again, is aligned. The crown of the head is reaching so that the back of the skull and the sacrum are aligned. So we want the spine nice and long, point the tailbone towards the heels. Keep those tops of the feet on the mat. And that squeeze of those armpits towards the ribs is really key here. As we take baby push-ups or lizard push-ups, press the hands into the mat, bend the elbows a few inches, and then back up again. And down and up, keeping the elbows towards the ribs. Lizard push-ups. Inhale as you come up, slide the hips back. And reach the arms, palms to the sky again. Inhale, exhale, palms to the mat, and then inhale through a nice luxurious cat here. Come back to our neutral spine, and we're going to bring ourselves into crescent moon pose. So we're going to take the right knee forward towards the right hand and the right foot on the floor in front of you. You can take your hand to your ankle and just step it out like that. Don't feel like you can't help yourself here to get that foot in front. Plant the foot, look down at your amazing footprint, spread out those toes. So we're widening the base. We'll explore the feet later, but we're taking that nice wide footprint below you and that back shin and the top of the back foot. So press those lightly into the mat and magnetize them together. And your awareness should come right into your center more. Take the fingertips to the mat, draw that energy through your fingertips towards the back of the mat. So you're really lengthening out the spine in a low lunge with the toes on the mat in the back, the toenails. And then we're going to curl up into our crescent moon. So take the hands to the front thigh and curl up, particularly that center of the heart energy shining forward. You want to point your tailbone towards the mat so that you have a spine that's not too arched too deeply in the lower spine, but more in that upper heart area. And then reach the arms above the head. Take the hands into steeple hands with the index fingers pointing up and clasped fingers. Arms lifting, making those side bodies long while you drop the hips towards the mat, pressing again into those anchor points. Our balance is asymmetrical here. So we need our front foot and our back shin to bring us into that center. Inhale, grow long, exhale, maybe look up at your hand if you want to do that, or not. And swan dive the hands down around that front foot, and then guide that knee back to all fours. And we're going to have a dynamic all fours as we turn our body in the other direction. So walk your all fours to the other side of the mat. If you want to cushion your knees again, do that. This is part of the moon practice, is that we change directions and change sides, kind of exploring the shadow. So let's come to that side, all fours. And then we're going to take those hands. Let's do a little push-up or a little knee plank here. Let's come forward with the hips, with those hands planted or fists planted. I'll show the fists. And then shoulders squeezing towards the rib cage. Let's take a nice exploration of plank here. So point the tailbone towards the heels. Just stay in the plank. That's a nice core workout too. Making sure that you don't drop the hips, but keep them nice and aligned. And you want the navel toning towards the spine so that we get some strong core muscles involved. And then slide the hips back briefly. Take the palms to the mat. And then we'll come into our crescent moon. One breath here into the back body, curl up through cat. Now we'll guide that left knee forward and the left foot onto the mat. So let's take the left foot forward, spread the toes, look at that footprint, fingertips to the mat so that you're pulling the energy back towards the back of the mat, making the body longer. What are our balancing points here? Our balance is the left foot and the right shin and the top of the right foot. Bring that awareness, just press them into the mat lightly, and then magnetize them together in your mind's eye, and then you visit that core. Lengthen the spine, and then press, keeping that knee aligned in the front, behind the two toes in the middle. And then we'll take the hands to the front thigh, curl up. You might notice a toning as you press those anchor points into the mat, pointing the tailbone down. Notice that strength in the middle, but also the front of your right thigh. We're going to stretch. Inhale the arms above the head. And take steeple hands. As you exhale, feel that tailbone settle towards the earth and just point it there. Notice the crest of your breath as we hear in crescent moon. Inhale, pause, exhale. Are your shoulders squeezing up towards the ears? See if you can loosen them down a little bit. On your next exhale, let's sweep the arms, swan dive them down around that foot and draw the knee back. Nice. And then we'll take our seat. So we're going to take that blanket and place it in the middle of the mat and have a seated practice. Back to those two sits bones. For symmetry of those sits bones below us. Take cross-legged or take kneeling, whatever makes you feel even along those sits bones. So what we want is that sacroiliac joint to be even. It's not perfectly symmetrical in any of our structure, but we want to try to achieve some kind of symmetry so that we don't throw that little beautiful, delicate joint off of kilter. So come to that seat, check in with that lower back. Inhale through the crown of the head, feel that light energy above you, making you even taller. And then take the hands out to the side, fingertips anchoring yourself down. We've got another tripod effect here, so keeping us nice and even. Take the fingertips behind you and the thumbs to the mat. So now you open up along the collarbones. Feel that heart open even more. Inhale, exhale, and then reach the arms above the head. Take them to prayer. Squeeze the arms together and then sway side to side by not squeezing the arms together, sorry, squeeze the palms together. Just sway side to side, opening up along the ribs. And where is the balance? Again, those sits bones. That's the nice stable balance while you remain flexible on top. Great. Reach up even more through those side bodies. Clasp your fingers together and then bring the palms behind the bottom of the skull. Get settled in there, elbows out to the side. Great, and as you support the bottom of the skull, Notice how nice that feels on that occipital ridge. There's a lot of energy points there, so just feel nice, soft energy there. You can also do a tiny lift up if that works for you, a tiny bit of traction, not too much, just lengthening, physically lengthening your spine and your neck. Now gently turn your head and guide it to the right. And with that same sense of length, come back through the center and then over to the left. And if it's better for you to just keep your hands down, you can do that too, just to, if this hurts your shoulders at all, turning side to side with the arms raised, you can always give your shoulders a break and take the arms down. We're doing it here is turning around that axis point of the body. So another point of balance, look forward. We'll look up and guide the gaze upward. Feel that arch in your neck. And then we'll guide that gaze downward towards the heart. You can close the elbows a little bit as we do this. And then look up and we'll guide the ear toward right shoulder. So what you want to do is make sure that length is there before you turn over to the side. Inhale up, exhale to the other side. Softening. And then come up. And imitating our beautiful butterfly, we'll imagine those elbows and those arms as butterfly wings. Open them up. So when we're going to look up again and notice that the elbows come open a little bit, and then we'll exhale and look down again. This time, really curl the spine behind you and close the elbows. See if you can meet the elbows. If you can't, that's okay. But if you can meet them, getting that unrounding of the spine, or really rounding it and forcing it a little more, or softening a little more, so we can bring flexibility to the upper spine. Look up, inhale, feel the pause, and then exhale. Bring the elbows together as much as you can. Curl the spine. Fluidity. Inhale, let's make those wings of a butterfly on a leaf, just how graceful they are. Think about that energy, inhaling and exhaling. Now we're opening up those channels of the spine that get really static through the day. Beautiful. Now release your hands down to the mat and then just shake it out. And then we'll bring the palms on top of each other, just below the heart, right on top of left. Let's link the fingers and we're in a Ganesh pose. So Ganesh is the clearer of obstacles in our ancient mythology and ancient spirituality. So elbows out to the side, this is the Ganesh mudra. So in this Ganesh mudra, let's take our ribs side to side in a gentle twist. And then let's switch the hands, release the fingers, take left on top of right. And then link, that's holding your own hand, and Ganesh mudra. Side to side, left and right. Imagine that energy, that column, the spinal column, but also that energetic column in front of the spine. Let's see if you can be on that, around that axis in this twist. Beautiful, come forward. And then we'll take our fun Batman hands for some of that nerve channels like we did last week, the ulnar nerve, the typing energy, maybe relieve there. So come into prayer position, press the hands together. And then we'll take them forward, palms up into a lotus, receiving, and then take the back of the hands together. And then take the fingertips down, keeping the hands together. And then take the fingertips up, release. Take the thumb and the index finger together, make our Batman eyes. keeping the elbows out to the side. Again, bringing our awareness into that symmetrical energy. And then hands together, back of hands together, swivel that back to prayer one more time. Fingertips down, back of hands together. Sorry, I'm doing that silly. Actually, if it fingertips in front of you, sorry, fingertips down, fingertips in front of you. Bring the index and the thumb together and then up into those Batman eyes. Noticing, gliding through our nerves there, and then come back, swivel it around to prayer. Inhale, exhale. And then we'll transition to down dog, to our standing moon practice. So take your blanket aside and grab the block, bringing our awareness into that center. So we're going to take the block and we're going to start in our kneeling position at the bottom of the mat. Take the block between the thighs so that you're squeezing that and lightening up that middle of the body and that place that keeps you stable as we take our standing poses. So bring the index finger pointing forward towards the top of the mat, aligning ourselves. Hands are in front of the shoulders. Squeeze the block at whatever level of the block allows you to stay in hip width apart. And we're going to curl those toes under. Press through the hands, awaken those shoulder blades and those shoulder muscles. Lift the knees off the mat. And then keep the heels high as you squeeze gently on the block. Tiptoes, reaching along through the spine. Feel those sits bones reach towards the diagonal direction. And just notice as you squeeze the block, you're getting a whole other support system at work. Staying with your knees bent, bring your ribs to the thighs, lengthening the spine. And then as you straighten the legs, you get a whole hamstring effect. Inhale, notice your hands are your balancing, your feet, those footprints. Exhale, feel the earth beneath you. Feel the hinge point at the hips, making our geometrical shape on the mat. Exhale. And then bend the knees, bring the hands towards the feet. Now we're just on the feet and we're taking ourselves off that symmetry because we're leaning forward with the spine, draping it over. So we could be bringing our energy towards the front of the foot. Let's keep the whole foot on the ground. If you need to keep the knees bent, that's okay. Take your thumbs to your elbow creases and hang the head down. Inhale, notice that the belly inflates. Exhale, bring the spine a little closer to the earth. Inhale, and exhale. And then bend the knees. Keep the block between the thighs. This should help you get into that center. Ground the feet into the earth, anchoring them down. And let's take the sits bones back to an imaginary chair as we hold the fingertips on the mat. Squeeze the block, lift the ribs off the thighs, and then just come up. You can hang the hands down, it's okay. And notice the navel toning towards the spine. Where is that spinal column? Where is that beautiful light of energy in front of the spinal column? Spine is aligned, skull to sacrum. Inhale, the arms next to the ears. Nice, strong chair pose. We've done this a lot. I hope you're getting that nice toning out of this. Stand strong for your footprints and come up to mountain pose. Reach long and then bring the arms next to the sides. Remove the block and take this mountain pose to the middle of the mat. So right symmetry here. So you've got the long side of the mat beside you. We're going to do another moon salutation series so that we're going to take both directions and practice some balancing. So let's first in mountain pose, more reminders of our beautiful foundation of the feet. Look down at your feet, take the toes, spread them out. So now look up forward and feel the energy of your feet, reminding us of the four corners of balance on the feet. The big toe mound, the little toe mound, the inner heel, and the outer heel. So there's a nice base there for us. Take the hands down to the side. Point the tailbone down. Feel those glutes engage to keep you in that stable place. Imagine the squeezing the block between the thighs, and you've got that enlightened energy engagement in the middle, and then up through the middle of the body. Through the crown of the head, roll the shoulders away from the ears, super stable in our mountain. Now we're going to widen that base as we come into our wide stance. So take the feet out, much wider than hip width, towards the edge of the mat. Inhale, hands on the hips, just noticing that length of the spine, point the tailbone down. At the same time, don't take the arch completely out of the lower back. Tilt the pelvis slightly forward. Subtle, subtle alignment here that keeps our spine safe. Inhale, exhale, feel those feet magnetize together. And then we're going to change this to our stance towards that proud warrior stance. We're not going to do proud warrior, but we're taking that same stance. Right feet, toes to the right of the mat, and angle the back foot towards about 45 degrees. Front heel aligned with back arch. And we're going to take side angle, and then we're going to challenge ourselves into half moon. So take the hands to the top of the thighs, and you can take a block or any kind of, if you want to move yourself towards the couch or something where you feel more comfortable with balances, you can do that too. But again, we're not forcing ourselves into anything, just kind of playing around. So let's place that block near the foot, if you'd like, the right foot. Hands to the top of the thighs. Inhale, grow long through the spine. Exhale, begin to bend the front knee towards the middle two toes. Bring the pelvis down symmetrically between those thighs. So still got that hip point, that top of the thigh, that's our gauge for the center. And you're gonna have to adjust your feet here, nice long stance. And you don't have to come to a right angle with your front leg, but make it so that you can balance nicely between those feet. Four corners of both feet. Notice where those are. Inhale, grow long through the spine. Exhale, with that hinge at the top of the thighs, begin to tilt the pelvis over towards the right knee. And then you can bring your right elbow down onto your right thigh. Lengthen through the whole spine in this diagonal. So we're throwing ourselves off center again. Inhale the left arm up to the sky and reach that left arm next to left ear. So when you do this, you might reach up the shoulders towards the ears again, draw them down, draw the shoulder blades down towards the tailbone. Inhale, find your center. Inhale, find the foundation. Exhale. One more. Inhale and exhale here, noticing the midpoint, noticing the crest of the breath. Sweep the left arm up towards the sky, and then float up with your inhale, back up to center. We'll take it to the other side, so bring the right toes forward and the left toes out to the side. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, begin to bend that front knee, the left knee towards the middle two toes. And the energy here is dropping the pelvis. So not leaning yet, but staying in center. Hands at top of thighs, noticing that hinge point. Exhale, we're tilting over towards the left knee, left elbow to left knee. And then reach the right arm up towards the sky, and then next to the ear, long from the right foot to the right fingertips. As you do this, keep your gaze steady and keep your eyes on the still points in front of you. So we're not looking at moving objects. Inhale, exhale. Well, let's reach the right arm up and come through center again. Heel toe closer together, the feet closer together. And we're going to take that same alignment that we had of the front heel to the back arch. And now we'll try that balance. And again, you don't have to go as far off out of your comfort zone at all. Just play with it. We're going to try to take half moon. So when half moon, I want you to bring that awareness to your still gaze. That's the drishti, so something very steady in your field of vision. We'll start out the same, hands on the top of the thighs. Inhale, grow tall. Exhale, gaze down at your right foot. So those right footprint, four corners of the feet, and begin to bend your front knee towards the toes. And then tiptoe your back foot. We're staying there with the hips forward here. So the half moon is with the hips forward. So we're staying with the hips forward, tiptoe the left foot as towards the right as you begin to straighten out that front foot, the right leg straightens out. Hope that came through clearly. Keep the hips pointing forward. We're not letting go of the balancing point yet. We still balanced on those left toes. Look down, and now bring your gaze forward. So gaze at something still, and then see if you can hinge at that right hip and let go of the left foot. If you can, flex the foot of the left, keeping your navel pointing forward, and see how much you can play with this balance of half moon pose. We'll have another chance to do this. So just go only practicing kind of playing with this in the beginning and come back down. And we're going to go to the other side. So come forward with the toes. Take the left toes out to the side. Angle with that back foot. Keeping the hips forward, just gaze down at your left toes. Bend the left knee towards the toes, keeping that alignment. Begin to tiptoe your right foot towards the left, and then straighten the left leg. And now we're aligned, looking down at those toes. Now bring the gaze forward. So we're totally looking towards the front here with the gaze of the hips, and then see if you can let go of that right foot. The four corners of your left foot are your axis point. See if you can flex your right foot, keeping it active as you tilt at that hinge point, and come back if you're not, just come back to the right foot if you're outside that comfort zone. Inhale and exhale. And then come back to center. Keep the toes forward, bring the toes forward, and we'll take a forward bend here. And then we'll try the other direction in our moon theme. Inhale, grow tall, exhale, hinge at those hips, come forward. You can take your block and place it beneath the face. Take the hands down to the block or fingertips to the floor. Inhale long into a flat back. Exhale, take the left hand down, open up to the right. So we're going to take the hand to the heart, elbow to the sky on the right side, reach the right arm up. Feel that expansion across the collarbones. Crest that wave of breath. Come back down, take the right hand down. Feel the pause of your exhale. Inhale the left hand to the heart, elbow to the sky. Open up the chest and ribs to the left. Come back down into center. Reach long through the spine, horizontal, flat back. Take hands to the top of the thighs and hinge there and come back up. We're going to reverse the direction of our flow to begin on the left. So take the toes to the left, align the feet, and take that walk there. That's good for your balance. As I go off balance, inhale, grow tall. Begin to bend the left knee towards the two toes. Notice the pause between your movements, the pause between your breath. Exhale, we're going to hinge at the left hip, bring the left elbow to the left thigh or down to that block. Lengthen, Right arm up to the sky, next to the ear. Shine the heart forward. Sweep the right arm up. Stand strong through those feet. And then come back up. Switch feet to the other side. Inhale. Exhale. Bring that knee, right knee, bend the right knee towards the middle two toes. Exhale, lean over to the right, right elbow to right thigh, or right hand to the block. Stand strong through the feet as you lift the left arm up to the sky, next to left ear. Feel the length of the body, the balance points, those 2 feet, anchoring and yet drawing them together. Sweep the left arm up. And then bring the toes forward. Bring the heel toe a little closer together in your feet. Bring the left toes over to the left. And we'll try our half moon again. You can always use whatever balance points you need. I'll go a little more fully into half moon pose this time just to show you guys. Look down at the left toes. Bend the left knee towards the toes. Tiptoe the right foot out. Now bring the gaze forward. As you inhale, with that straight left leg, let go of the right side. Hips forward. If you want to bring that wingspan into it, you can take your arms out into a T. And just play with tilting forward. Half moon. And reach the right foot back, nice and strong, through the center. Other side, right toes to the side. Take ourselves off that center. Just testing. Take the right, bend the right knee towards the right two toes, or the middle 2 toes. Tiptoe with the left. Look out, still point in the distance. And let go of that left toe if you can. Keeping our side plane. So we're imagining that we're in between 2 panes of glass, staying on that side plane. If you want to open up the arms and the wingspan, play with that. Challenging balance here, definitely challenging. Exhale. Out of it whenever you're ready. Thank you for playing with our different balance energies today. Take that block to the side. And then we'll go to the, heel toe yourself back into mountain pose. Go to the bottom of the mat. Sweep the arms above the head. Hinge at the hips. Swan dive down to the mat. Fingertips down. Bend the knees, walk the hands out, coming back to our beautiful triangular energy of downward dog, hands and feet planted on the mat, allowing the spine to grow nice and long. Inhale, fill the body, that beautiful breath. Exhale, squeeze it out. Bring the knees down to the mat. And then we'll come back onto our backs for our bridge practice. Changing our orientation. It's so amazing how many balance points we can play with in yoga. So take the soles of the feet to the floor, hip width apart, knees hip width apart. Noticing here, take the hands, one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. Come back to that rhythm of the breath and notice how the breath may have changed as we challenged our balance in standing. Bring it back to that calm balance between the inhale and the exhale. take a nice balanced bridge here as we bring those feet into our awareness and press them into the mat. Take the length of the arms along the mat so you have another point of reference for your bridge pose. Nice, beautiful bridge pose. Roll the shoulders underneath you and inhale the hips up towards the sky. Roll them up, bring the sternum towards the chin, so the breastbone towards the chin. If you'd like to give yourself a little spa experience, you can always take your block and place it underneath your sacrum. So you have a choice. You can be in our supported bridge or bridge with the arms next to your body, lifting the hips up towards the sky, navel towards the sky. Now, with your awareness of the balance, we've got the back of the skull on the mat, we've got the shoulder blades and the length of the arms and the feet. Let's see if we can visit off center again. Take the left foot, press it into the mat, and see if you can gently kick out your right leg straight. Exhale down, come to balance again. Let's bring that awareness to the right side, keeping the hips even. See if you can straighten out your left leg. Looking up at the sky. Noticing the breath. Let's alternate again. Right leg long, press through that or stay on that block. Either way, we're getting a balanced practice here. Come back to that symmetry of both feet on the floor. Lift that sternum towards the chin again. Unrounding the spine. Exhale, snake your spine back to earth, bone by bone. And then press that sacrum into the mat. Very nice. Inhale, the right knee toward the chest. Take the right ankle over the left thigh in figure 4. Press your right hand into the inner thigh of that right leg and press each into each other. So right hand into right leg into right hand. Decompression of that lower spine a little bit. Back to our amazing breath. Reach for your left thigh and see if you can bring that closer to your face. And find the sacrum again. See if you can place it evenly on the mat. Those hip bones nice and even. And if you want to grab your strap, you can place it a lasso. Take your left leg up straight and lasso that foot, the left foot, just for a hamstring bonus stretch here. Or you can just use the core muscles and keep that left foot up towards the sky. And hold it, keeping the hips even. You can also hold the back of the thigh on the left foot, left leg. Noticing the stretch along the back of the left leg. Then bend the left leg, release it, foot down to the floor. And then unwind your right leg. Inhale the left knee to the chest. Take the left ankle over the right thigh. Take the left hand to the left thigh and press the hand into the thigh into the hand. Bringing your awareness into the sacrum, bring the right thigh towards the face. Hold that back of the thigh. Straighten out your right leg. You can lasso that with the strap if you'd like. And just feel that stretch along the right leg while you're opening the left hip as well, gliding, bringing more hydration and energy and flexibility into your hip. sacrum awareness. And bend the right knee, bring the foot down to the floor. Gonna unwind. And now we can, sorry, I didn't say remove the block, but you probably already removed the block, but let's place it back, everyone, under the spine, under the sacrum. So one more moment of spa bridge here, just to get a release and a lifting off of having the hips be our pivot point, our energy that has to carry everything through the day, our walking and sitting. Let's lift them up a bit. Drop the arms next to the body. Just feel that support beneath you. The rhythm of the breath in your awareness. Lift the hips and take that supportive block away. And we'll take the knees together. Feet wider than hip width apart toward the edges of the mat. And we'll take our thumbs to the elbow creases and bring the arms next to the ears. So the forearms above your crown of the head. Now we're in our moon gazing pose. Sigh the air out and just imagine a beautiful night sky, clear night sky above you with the moon shining, soft energy. The beauty of shadows and the night. Fresh air. And now from this position, begin to trace your right knee towards your left foot along the left shin. And then back up towards the knee and take it to the other side. The left knee traces down the right shin towards the right foot. Keeping your feet on the mat. Take that back and forth. Continuing, even noticing as you change direction, the breath goes with it. So you're changing that direction of the breath. Take the elbows side to side away from the knee direction, so the opposite direction. On your next inhale, bring those forearms above the face. And then take the elbows side to side above you. Twisting out the spine through the legs and the arms. And then we'll take the head side to side as well. So with the head, it's opposite direction of the arms. So we're creating another twist through the top of the spine. And then the eyes will join by watching the elbows side to side, increasing our toning of the vagal nerve, which is the largest nerve in the body, bringing us to a resting state. And then slow that motion down. Drape those arms next to the body. Keep the knees together, the feet on the floor. Easy pose. Inhale. Exhale. Straighten out one leg and then the other. Take the palms, reach towards the sky. Pressing your arms into the mat. Feel the lift of your sternum The lift of that heart space towards the sky, squeeze the shoulder blades together, and then settle the body back down. Take the feet off to the side, just flop them out. And now that we've taken all of this effort and moving of the energy through the body, we can now settle that energy. Noticing that the energy is still flowing through the body. We still have that energy whirling around because we've stirred up new energies and new pathways. Witness the body and witness that energy. And begin to witness your breath again. As you inhale, fill the body with breath. Take that crest of the breath. Exhale, release. Release it completely. Notice this crest of breath and invite a new breath in. Cleansing breath. Exhaling out what you don't need. As you inhale again, bring that awareness to that spinal column. Stability in front of the spine, in the middle, the midline. Exhale, sigh out anything you don't need. Knowing that you can bring your breath into balance anytime you need to do that. Noticing the imprint of your shape on the mat, your skeleton, your physical body. Begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Bend the elbows and the knees. Rolling over onto your right side, away from your heart. Take a nice balanced breath here. Help yourself up to a seated position. Beautiful anchor of our sits bones again. Coming into the center through prayer position, pressing the hands together in front of the heart, thumb at the heart, elbows out to the side. Inhale, feel the length of the body, refreshing energy from our practice. Exhale. Thank you so much for joining me in the practice today. Namaste.